Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum Assalam. Tashreef rakho.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You are Miss Mehwish Yaseen.
Yes,
How
sir.
are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, sir. Thank you.
ठीक हो? बेटे make yourself comfortable.
Thank you, sir. I am.
पीछे होके बैठो, relax करो. All right. I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Sure, sir.
A mixture on domestic issues, on maybe a couple of questions on other subjects, and then my colleagues will do the same. Beta, can you tell the panel what is the national emblem of Pakistan?
So the national emblem of Pakistan was adopted in 1954, and it symbolizes the heritage culture of Pakistan and the basis of economy and the.
It is in the shape of a shield,
Yes,
right?
sir.
More or less.
Yes, sir.
Divided into four.
Yes,
It
sir.
has four symbols. वो क्या है?
The four symbols are of four plant symbols. There was a cotton plant, and the other one is the tea plant. Then there's wheat, and the next one is the jute.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum Assalam. Tashreef रखें.
Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Zulkarnain Salim Bhattu,
Yes, sir.
a doctor by profession. Good
Yes.
to have you with us.
Thank you so
How
much.
are you, beta?
I'm good, sir.
Why is it, beta, that in the past history of the country, for the last 73 years, all the governments, without exception, have been neglecting the health sector? There has never been enough budget allocation for this important sector. Why is that so, and what needs to be done in this regard?
No doubt, sir, you are absolutely right that health is a neglected sector. For instance, according to the reports, around 4% of GDP is being spent on health, while in developed countries around 10 to 15% has been allocated to health. It is because of misplaced priorities of Pakistan. And I personally believe that Pakistan obsession with security related matters is the primary cause that health sector is neglected. Like we are spending around 25% of our budget on the defense, while in 21st century the security is not measured in terms of hard security, but in terms of soft security, and health is a primary pillar of that. We need to change our priorities. Moreover, the amount which is spent, it is not adequately being spent.
Okay, beta, my next question.
Yes, sir.
This relates to Islamic studies or Islamic history. Can you tell us what was the Treaty of Hudaybiyah?
Treaty of Hudaybiyah is also called the peace treaty that was signed between the Holy Prophet representing Medina and the Quraysh representing the Makkah. There were the conflicts between the Makkah and Medina. Holy Prophet went there to perform Umrah, but there were certain conflicts among them, and this treaty is also called peace treaty just for that purpose, that this treaty resolved many conflicts.
Please, over to you.
Oh, thank you. You have just mentioned your favorite personality as Abdul Staridi.
Yes, sir.
Why you have preferred him as compared to Qaid Azam?
Sir, Qaid-e-Azam no doubt is unmatchable if we look at our history. But I preferred Abdul Staridi because he has served the humanity by going out of the way. He had done a lot for the humanity, like the abandoned humans whose families did not even care for them. He used to take them and provide them shelter, food, as well as hospital.
Don't you think that Qaid Azam also served humanity, Muslims of this area, by creating Pakistan?
No doubt, sir. There is, as I already stated, that there is no match between Qaid-e-Azam. He is an unprecedented leader, but I preferred Abdul Staridi for his humane works, or his work for his services he rendered to humanity.
Thank you, sir. Well, Ms. Mehwish, talking about the pandemic COVID-19,
Yes, sir.
how can Pakistan vaccinate such a huge population? What steps can be taken to first acquire this large amount of vaccine and then distribute it for the COVID-19?
Yes, sir. According to the US Bureau Census, Pakistan is the fifth most populous country. To vaccinate such a huge population is a very difficult task. So the government should involve the private companies, and the private companies should import the vaccine, and they target the class, like they can target the upper class or the upper middle class or the rich class, and vaccinate them, while the government should take the responsibility of the lower middle class and the poor families and vaccinate.
Would you recall the essence of this treaty? Articles क्या थे उसके?
Sir, I am not able to recall the articles exactly.
Sir, I agree that she was well composed. She had the confidence, at least apparently, but she lacked depth. When she was making an analysis, she lacked depth. But overall, she could, maintain her composure. She didn't get upset or nervous when she dropped certain questions. So that is a positive quality. She was unable to maintain the proper, correct eye contact. She was actually looking into space, I would say. But overall, I think she's a potential candidate. I think.
Good. Having heard your views, I agree with what has been said. Potential उसमें नजर आता है. With a little hard work, by increasing her or expanding her knowledge base, I think she will be able to get the service group of her choice. Eye contact, I agree. जब वो सोचती थी, she used to look not at us, but above and behind us. And I found that when she was interacting with me in the beginning, she was a bit nervous. वो nervousness खत्म हो गई, obvious है, वो हो जाती, natural है. But she gave some very inconclusive and incomplete answers. Treaty of Hudaybiyah, for example, उसके articles मैंने पूछे, वो नहीं बता सकी बेचारी. Power of expression में थोड़ा उसका improvement की ज़रूरत है. Hand placement, मैंने notice किया, most of the time her hands were like this. This is not desirable. Normally हम बच्चे को कहते हैं इस तरह करके अपनी इसको